The Emperor's New Clothes by Hans Christian Andersen. Many years ago, there was an emperor who was so very fond of new clothes that he spent all his money on them. He only went out when he had a chance to show off his new clothes. He had a different suit for each hour of the day. Most kings could be found sitting in council. It was said of the emperor, "He is sitting in his wardrobe." One day, two fellows calling themselves weavers came to town. They said that they knew how to weave clothes of the most beautiful colors and patterns. The clothes made from this wonderful cloth would be invisible to everyone who was unfit for the job to be held, or who was very simple in characters. "This must indeed be splendid clothes," thought the emperor. "If I had such a suit, I might at once find out what men in my kingdom are unfit for their job. I would be able to tell the wise men from the foolish. This stuff must be woven for me immediately," said by the king. He gave large sums of money to both the weavers in order that they might begin their work at once. So, the two pretend weavers set up two looms. They worked very busily, though in reality they did nothing at all. They asked for the finest silk and the purest gold thread. They put both into their own knapsacks. Then they pretended to work at the empty looms until late at night. "I should like to know how the weavers are getting on with my cloth," said the emperor to himself one day. When he remembered that a simpleton or one unfit for this job would be unable to see the cloth, he began to worry. To be sure, he thought he was safe. However, he would prepare sending somebody else to bring him news about the weavers and their work. All the people in the kingdom had heard of the wonderful cloth. All were eager to learn how wise or how foolish their neighbors might be. "I will send my faithful old wise man to the weavers," said the emperor at last. "He will be best able to see how the cloth looks. He is a man of sense. No one can be better for his job than he is." So the faithful old wise man went into the hall where the chiefs were working with all their might at their empty looms. "What can be the meaning of this?" thought the old man, opening his eyes very wide. "I can't find the least bit of thread on the looms." However, he did not say his thoughts aloud. The thieves asked him very kindly to be so good as to come near their looms. Then they asked him whether the cloth pleased him. They asked whether the colors were not very beautiful. All the time they were pointing to the empty frames. The poor old wise man looked and looked. He could not see anything on the looms for a very good reason. There was nothing there. "What?" I thought he again. "It is possible that I am a fool. I have never thought so myself. No one must know it now if I am so. Can it be that I am unfit for my job? No, the emperor must not know that either. I will never tell that I could not see the stuff." "Well, sir," said one of the weavers, still pretending to work, "you don't have to say whether the cloth pleases you." After a long time, finally, the clothes of the emperor has finally arrived. The emperor walked under his high canopy in the midst of the procession through the streets of his capital. All the people standing by and those at the windows cried out, "Oh, How beautiful are Emperor's new clothes! What a magnificent chain there is to mantle, and how gracefully the scarf hangs! No one would admit these much admired clothes could not be seen, because, in doing so, he would have been saying he was either a simpleton or unfit for his job. "But the Emperor has nothing at all on," said the little child. "Listen to the voice of the child," exclaimed his father. What the child had said was whispered from one to another. "But he has nothing at all on," at last cried out all the people. The Emperor was upset, for he knew that the people were right. However, he thought the procession must go on now. The lords of the bedchamber took greater pains than ever to appear holding up a train, although in reality there was no train to hold, and the Emperor walked on in his underwear.